Now, as we are still diving into the national dialogue for the state policing that happened yesterday, Monday, April 22nd, we have to discuss further on the state policing debate. In the studio is the former Deputy Inspector General of Police of Operations, Habila Joshak. He's also definitely a security expert. Good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. So let's talk about the state policing. It has been a debate, and then right now, Nigerians had the opportunity of seeing, major stakeholders air out their own thoughts and also grievances in terms of all of this. What is your perception? What's your perspective when it comes to this matter?
Okay, it's quite unfortunate that here in Nigeria, we have a lot of security challenges that have gotten widened, and it's a threat to the communities, and it's a threat to everyone, and that's why people are clamoring that something must be done quickly. Otherwise, the kidnapping and all kind of crime and criminality at the outskirts, most cases of each of our cities is calling for an attention. And that's why the communities and the individuals, the society is thinking about what is the problem, because it's not been actually tackled. There is a gap. People are being killed. Properties are being destroyed, and even when more of the security agencies, particularly the military, are reinforced, we still have the same scenario. And so I'm saying that is why the citizens are calling for state police, because they think state police under a governor, and under them, they'll be able to cross-fertilize ideas and maybe sometimes have the opportunity to see what the problems are, and then contribute as to what exactly to be done. And so they are not saying this for just nothing. They're saying this as a last resort. Yeah. While the Nigerian police, under the Inspector General of Police, he is also very, 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 very skeptical about allowing police and policing and control and command of police in the various states. And he also is right, because he would want a situation where police are compromised in terms of those in position of authority, and those of them that are on the opposing side might suffer.
Yeah.
And so this is why we have this. But I would say that there's a gap. There's a gap because we have the men. There are quite a number of them that have been trained. They've gone outside the country in Simon, and they've excelled. But what we have here is that there are no equipment. In most of the places where there are attacks, these attacks continue to reoccur, and nothing is done. The Inspector General of Police does not have the capacity in terms of equipments like when you create a police station, you're supposed to have the barracks. The number of the policemen, even that are deployed to places that are already threatened by bandits, are not reinforced. The equipments are not there, and in some cases they are camped somewhere as a group. And so if there's an attack, you can be sure that 90% of them will be affected. Instead of getting good accommodation, good transportation, where they can respond at immediate when the event is happening, the logistics are not there. This is all over the country.
I mean, this conversation has about three sides. There is one, the infrastructure benefits that definitely the policing system needs when it comes to upgrading, and also we have the pros and cons to weigh when it comes to the state police. But let's start with the infrastructure. You have been part of the system, for the longest. And even though the present administration made promise that there would be definitely an upgrade, which we saw one motivation saying there should be a national day in commemoration to the police workers. But then why do you think it has been a delay for the longest time for all of these issues that has been re-echoed often, not to be addressed by any of the administration? We're talking about previous.
Yes, security is something that requires a lot of funding, and when you commit your fund to a place, and the result of it is not something that you touch. It does not bring so much thing that you can touch that you can say, okay, this is the outcome of then the benefit of what I've done, but it will bring safety to the community and allow people to go about their activities. And there's no product that you can say, oh, this 100 million is coming back. And that's why.
But then it will definitely grow the economy. So
yes.
When there is safety, economy will
yes,
thrive.
when there's safety, the economy grows. But a lot of people do not want to put money where something is not coming out. And there's underfunding. There's been underfunding for a long time. And so you find out that when these officers are sent outside this country for an assignment, they excel. And they do very excellent. But when they come in here, you find out that it's something else.
Because of the unavailability of infrastructure.
Unavailability, yes. It is very difficult for policemen and police officers to have comfort in terms of an identified place for them that they will be proud about, allowances and some other things. There are challenges, and until we are ready, to
invest and put money.
Yes, to invest, to ensure that all the requirements that we need, the basic ones, must be given, and then the welfare of the police, and where the police stay. In my general area where I came from, most of the attacks are done, and because the police station, the police division does not have a barracks. And so when you come on duty, you pull out after your duty, and you put a few, 3, 4, 5 on duty. They do not have others. Those of them that have finished their assignment are supposed to be hanging around because there's supposed to be a barracks, so that when you use your whistle and call emergency, those of them that are not on duty but are around would also dress up and reinforce. We do not have that. And that's why we have a lot of attack. People, the criminals will come, attack, waste a lot of time, and move out without being apprehended.
Because there's no backup plan.
There's no backup. So until we are ready to do that which is right.
All right, let's take a look at the advantages of state policing. I mean, we all agree that both sides of argument make sense, and of course it's something that should be looked into. So when it comes to the advantages based on the former head of state and former presidents Goodluck Jonathan and Abdusalam Abubakar pointing out, saying that this should be done, what do you think the outcome would be if at all state policing is being approved and implemented?
Yes, these are leaders. These are people that have held this country, and they know much. And it is true that when you commit police officers to their locality, to where they come from, it's a very good idea, and it can work very well, because they will know the terrain, because they will be able to understand what exactly it is. They will also know who are in these communities that already they are spoiled. They are criminals. They are people that can go and bring criminals into the society. And so when you look, because policing is local, and so those that reside in a community know the problems of the communities, and know those who are coming in for the first time, people who are coming to spy, they would know. People who are coming in to prepare to attack or to create havoc, they will be able to even source them and then take them out of the community before they execute what they thought we have. So there's a lot of advantages if we have a lot of police officers serving within their community. There's going to be a lot of good effort that can prevent this kind of carnage that we're seeing.
So speaking of prevention, some people believe that that could also help in responsive, like quick response, considering, you know, we've seen what happened in Plateau State, where there was a massive call to the army, and they said they got a lot of calls, but they could not respond because of the location of how the whole strategic area is. So when it comes to this, some people are saying that, you know, local state policing would definitely help. What do you think about that?
Yes, if the facilities are put in place, and then a lot of the police officers walk where they come from, it's really going to be something, a big improvement. It's going to help a lot. But we're always saying, who is going to command that? It's also the problem, because if you have the police in a state, and it is the governor of the state and his administrative team, there are likely a possibility of a vindictive, kind of thing, because there are those who oppose, of course, those who do not want who is the governor to be there. Those who also are thinking that it should be done differently will also want to always create problems.
Yeah.
But if we have leaders that are for those who even did not want them to be on the stage, leadership that forget about what happened and how they came up there, then we have a very good time. But there are a lot of them that would want to, commit the police officers to a position where to those who oppose. There are people who will always see what is wrong, and they will want to say that. And you will know that if you keep doing that, you will be turned an opposition. And in doing that, you should also know that nobody would want to like you.
Yeah.
And so there's this fear. But if these are wiped off, of course, people that live in a community and serve as police officers in such communities are likely to produce good results.
Speaking on leadership and involvement when it comes to the state policing, I mean, amongst also stakeholders that were part of that dialogue were monarchs. We're talking about the Emirates, traditional leaders. And there's been a bit of a debate when it comes to this. We all saw how if situations of security has been compromised, the first person they charged to, just like what happened in Delta State, Okwama, where some soldiers were ambushed and killed. One of the person that was quick to be summoned was the traditional ruler there, the prince of the Okwama, and there is a bit of skeptical. Should they be used when it comes to state policing, or should they be excluded from that? What do you think?
No, some of the places that we've walked, we've discovered that the role of the traditional rulers is very, very vital. It's very, very important. These are people that know everyone around, and these are people that can enhance the safety and the commitment of their community. They are very, very important in terms of ensuring that that community is safe. For some time, I don't think they have that power now. They do not have that power now, and they've not been assigned. But if traditional rulers are brought in terms of security particularly, it's going to add value, and it's going to actually prevent a lot of carnage that is right now happening.
I mean, this of course,
yes.
could be the advantage. So let's dive into the disadvantage. The IGP came out to give the list of reasons why he's, of course, objecting to the state's policing. One of the major things he said is, of course, the governors taking advantage of that. Is there any fear? Because people have not even heard from the present governors coming out to even say, no, we assure you we'll definitely not take advantage of all of this.
The Inspector General of Police have worked in big cities. We're all in Lagos, and he has much of what is expected to be seen here. It's very true that if you give, there's a likelihood of a misuse of power. It may not be the governor himself, but the people that are surrounding him, and those people that are in the various of department where they work, for the advance of the community and of that state. They will on their own want to direct. Of course, people who keep criticizing, and people who do not see anything good in what they're doing, definitely they are going to fight them back. And I know that if it is the governors that will be responsible for directing or deployment of the officers, there are those who will do the right thing. There are those also, I can assure you that it's going to cause a lot of problems. It's going to really, really throw up some challenges that we might have to go to look for solution outside this. And so if you say you want to have a state police under the governor and his team, you will also know that there are those of them who watch what's happened in a state and try to bring it out, whether it is positive or negative. Sometimes they stress the negative aspect in order to give, an opportunity for those in power to know that something has not been done. That also can create problem. But I think the reason why the Inspector General of Police is talking about his fears of putting the Nigerian police in the hands of the governors, there could be some infraction.
Speaking of states also, you also made a point of that, the fear of infrastructure. Even if this should be agreed and approved, is the state in the best position? Do they have the infrastructure to cater for the state police?
Yeah, in the process of my policing, I have almost gone to most of the states, and I've also gone to where we have challenges, because I was just flying out and doing all of this. It's very, very difficult for us to agree that putting the Nigerian police in the hands of the authority in each of the states is going to cause some problems. Because right now, if the commissioners of police in the various states liaise, answered the call of the governor as to what exactly are the challenges, particularly the security and others. So there's no governor who will say his commissioner of police is not working with him. In fact, as it is, the governors themselves are to be advised that the gap in logistics, the gaps in intelligence gathering and transportation and what have you, should be covered by them. Because there's no commissioner of police, to my knowledge, that will want not to work with the governor, because he is there to to protect the citizen, and the citizen of that general area are looking up to the governor. So right now, if someone is saying that the police are doing what the governors want, they do the bidding of the governors. Of course, whatever that is wrong and is brought to the governor and is taken to the commissioner of police or the DPO, they quickly run after it. The problems are that logistics and fun, to execute this. There are times, I must be very frank with you that there are no fun at all. People are posted and there's no fun in that locality, in the local government, in the police station, in the police post. There are no police posts anymore.
I mean, all of that worries. But then one of the suggestions that IGP made is the merging of the NSCDC, that's the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, and of course the Federal Road Safety Corps. Do you think that would definitely help in the number when it comes to, of course, using what the United Nations suggestion has been to one police to about 4 people?
Yes. Okay, the civil defense have given a good account of themselves. And you can see that you can really not decipher what really is their assignment and the police is intertwined, and it's just the same. And so if you need more manpower, the training of the civil defense will be done by the military, and we've worked with them and we found them very fruitful. They can do what the Nigerian police are doing. And if they can do that, why don't they, put them together in areas where they are not, it's not a riverine area where they run after, even if it is a riverine area, then Bayelsa, Delta, and what have you. It's the same assignment. In fact, if we discover the number of policemen are not sufficient in some places, because they are not sufficient at all in some places.
In Nigeria in general, I would say.
We can have the civil defense, as the IG said, and it will add value to policing and create safety for the people. Yes.
Also, he suggested 30,000 recruitment yearly.
Recruitment yearly, fine. The problem is funding.
We're still back to the same thing. So until that funding is addressed, all of this is just like a pipe of water. It's just lying low. But then at the end of the day, what do you think the best solution would be in terms of this debate going on?
No, I think the government, His Excellency, made a good point. I think from all indication, there's no turn back. There's no turn back of the fact that the state police, because I think we until we see the document, when they're talking about the state police, I don't know whether they're talking about the governor having the responsibility to direct the police officers and other security agencies in their day-to-day activities, or take the responsibility of providing the necessary equipment, the tools, and then welfare and what have you, which is going to be very difficult, because I do not think that there's a governor that will have all that it takes to have 600, a unit of the police, 63,000, 63, a unit, 600. I mean, that is just the police for you. I don't know if the government will have that kind of fund to fund their states and the activities of the civil servants and other requirements of welfare and what have you, and also have the requisite to take care of the police. If they can do that, that's fine. But it's fun.
But then even if they can do that, there's that fear of, if I am paying you and taking care of you, then definitely you should be loyal to me, which is definitely not the aim of the policing in the first place in the system. But then, yes, this is something that we'll definitely have to wait and see how that unfolds. Yes. I mean, you've pointed out that there are still details that are still not yet out, considering we're still in the first phase of all of this. But then, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. The former Deputy Inspector General of Police, Habila Joshak, we truly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Dissecting this issue with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.